All right, how's the music, everybody? We're good? Okay. Let's just tap our toes. All right, let's lift our heels. Got a smaller group today. I think a few more people decided to stay in bed. Good. 8, 7, 4, 3. Heels to the front. We're going to push. So shoulders are nice and relaxed. Elbows are lower than your shoulders. We're just starting to warm up, figure out our range of motion for today. All right, tap it to the side. We're gonna reach. So we're adding a little bit of rotation, but the entire body comes with. 8, 7, 4, 3, toes to the back. We're gonna press the hands back, shoulders away from the ears. So we're working our lats, upper back, and our glutes. 4, 3, knees up in front. We're gonna climb the ladder. So palms facing in, elbows forwards is option 1. Option 2, palms forward, elbows out. 4, 3, tap it to the side. We're gonna reach overhead. 8, 7, 4, 3, hamstring curls. We're gonna reach and pull, open and close those fingers. So we're squeezing the shoulder blades together, trying to kick ourselves in the tush. Wake up those hands. 4, 3, wood chops right in the center. Chest stays nice and tall, feet are hip width apart, toes pointing forwards. We're closing the car door with our backside. 2. All right, high right, low left. High right, low left. So a little more torso rotation. 4, 3, 2. Good. Low right, high left. Low right, high left. Low to high. 4, 3, 2. Take those feet hip width apart. We're going to squat. Nice and quick to start with. Little shallow. So this is where we start to work on our technique. Our chest stays lifted. All that's moving is our hips. Good. We're going to try to go a little deeper, a little slower. Bring it back up. So feet are flat. Weight is in your heels. Yes, your knees are going to move forwards, but we don't want to push them forwards. Last one. Good. Forward step and reach right here. Forward step, take it back. You can start to make it lunges, or you can just keep doing a forward and backward step. This is a good balance challenge. 2. Let's reach across the body. So forward step. Again, little rotation. Hips, knees, and toes are staying pointing forwards, and our upper spine does the movement. 2. Side step right here. Side step with a push. Keep those hips, knees, and toes pointing forwards as you sit back a little bit. 2. Backward step. Open and close at the chest. Pain-free range of motion. So it's okay if your arms don't go really far back. We just want to wake up the shoulders, wake up that chest and back. 2. All right, arms up, overhead. Nice, good reach. Again, same thing. Your arms don't have to go straight overhead. Pain-free. 4, 3, 2. All right, good. Jog it out right here. Option 1 is our jog. Option 2 is our good power march. Trying to get those thighs up there and pump those arms. 4, 3, jumping jacks out and in. So side tapping, side stepping, or full jacks. Good. 8, 7, 4, 3, heel kick jog. Option 1 right here. Nice good hamstring curl with big arms. Option 2 is we jog, but we don't want to let those knees knock. A little bit apart. Skaters right here. Side step, little cross behind. 8, 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's march it out. Grab a drink of water. All right, so we've got 3 exercises. We're going to do 40 seconds work, 10 seconds transition, 2 rounds. All right, so our first exercise, reverse lunge with the core rotation. You decide if you want to have a weight. We're going to take it back and rotate. Take it back and rotate. 3, 2, 1. Good. You have 40 seconds. So whatever leg is in front, that's the direction that we turn. We don't want to turn it this way, because then what happens, a lot of times we step back, we turn, and that knee kicks out, and it's not a lunge anymore. So stepping back, rotate, bring it back up. So sometimes I like to have my hands up, keep them right at my sternum, so that I know that my rotation is not just my arms moving, and that I'm using my core. Good. 3, 2, 1. Grab a dumbbell for an overhead press. We're going to do, weight is in the left hand, right leg is going to step back and step to the side. So we're going to do reverse lunge, and then we're going to do a side lunge. So reverse lunge, overhead press, side lunge, bring it back to the shoulder. Reverse, overhead, side, back to the shoulder. So down, reach. Now you can do this body weight. You can skip using the dumbbell and focus on the legs and just do range of motion for your arms, or not at all. Good. Now you can always just step back and then do a side step as well. So if you're not able to do lunges right now, good. Last one. That's okay. All right. Switching sides. 2, 1. Good. So get in the legs, reverse, and then side. Good. Reverse, add your overhead press, step into that side. Good. So now my left leg is going back, and then it's going over to the side. Now if you got to take some of the leg out, you can do the arms instead. That's a good thing about combination exercises. If you have to, you can pick one or the other. Good. 10 seconds to go. And we're going to repeat. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, going back to that alternating lunge, core rotation. 3, 2, 1. Good. So lunge, core rotation. Now, if you're not able to do lunges, you can just do your core rotation, yes? We keep our legs steady, so we don't want to turn and wobble. We press those knees out and we reach like we're trying to tap our hands or our weights to the hips. So if lunges are out, core is still in. Otherwise, we step back into that lunge. The deeper you go on the lunge, the more of a balance challenge. 2 and 1. Good. Go ahead, bring it up. All right, we're going to go for our reverse lunge into our side lunge with our overhead press. Good. Time is on. So reverse lunge, overhead, side step, back to the shoulder. Now I like doing the overhead press and the lunge at the same time. A little more core challenge, a little more difficult. Again, if you can't do the lunges, yes, you can just do overhead press with some side stepping. So you don't have to do a full-blown lunge. Or if you're not able to do overheads right now, you do your lunges and you're good. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, getting ready for the other side. 3, 2, 1. Good. Reverse lunge, overhead, side lunge like you're going to put something on the floor or you're picking something up off the floor. Yes, put it in the cupboard. When we do those side lunges, we don't want to turn the toes out and pop the knees out. We want to step side, sit back, and come together. So we're doing a single leg squat basically is what we're doing. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's bring it up, shake it out. Super quick drink of water. So this round we have 2 exercises where we're going to do right then left and repeat twice. So we technically have 8 rounds this time. So we're going to start with a single leg deadlift with a warrior, and you have the option to grab a light weight, but we're just going to stay nice and tall. Single leg deadlift, we have our warrior. We reach out, we bring it back in, all on the same side. Reach and back in. 40 seconds, your time is on. Now, option 1, weight is in the right leg, left leg lifts, and we kind of go into warrior. I'm doing single arm versus both. Option, yes, you can have that toe down for a little support. So like the top of my big toe is what is touching the floor. I'm making sure that I'm not pushing back and coming up. All my weight is in that front leg. Next option, yes, you can just do a kickstand where you stay nice and tall and that back foot is closer, but it's still just there for moral support. Good. Grab a weight for rows, and whatever arm was reaching is the arm we're going to do rows. We're going to have 40 seconds. Good. Our time is on. So we're just going to do rows. So have that little bit of a forward fold. We want to make sure that we're not tucked under and that we're not pulling straight up like we're pulling our pants up or like we're pumping a bicycle pump. We want to have that little bit of a forward fold, drive the elbow back so it doesn't have to come straight up and down. It can come back a little bit at an angle. The more upright you are, the more of an angle it's going to be. The more forward folded you are, the more up and down it's going to be. But the goal, squeeze the shoulder blade in, drive that elbow back. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it up. We're going to do the other side from the beginning, starting with our warrior, our deadlift warrior. So weight is in your other leg. Decide your foot position. Here we go. We reach and we come back up. We reach and we come back up. And it's all right if it's a small reach. We don't have to get parallel to the floor for this to be an effective exercise. Making sure that we're not turning our hip out to the side. Try to keep everything square to the front and square to the floor. So balance, strength, core. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, rows on this side. 3, 2, 1. Good. So a nice good forward fold. Our chest stays lifted. Sometimes we forward fold and our shoulders collapse in. And when we do our row, we're just doing a bicep curl. We want to have those shoulders down and back. Chest stays open. Movement is that shoulder blade is kind of gliding to the side of your torso when you go down and then coming back in towards the spine when you lift that weight up. 10 seconds to go. If you need to, you can have a hip width stance, hand on a wall, table, or chair for support. 2 and 1. Good. Bring it up. All right, option. I have a 5-pounder that's a little heavy. 1s, 2s, and 3s are good for this one. Nice and tall. Good. Warrior reach. Bring it back in. Warrior reach. So something to consider is we don't want to drop and have that shoulder come up by our earlobe. We want to stay tall. Arm stays about parallel to the floor. Chest can be a little bit lifted. So imagine you're sawing a log. You don't want to saw in weird ways. You want to get those nice good cuts. So shoulders stay down and back. Again, especially with weights, it's okay if that arm, that elbow does not fully extend. 2, 1, good. Bring it up. Rows. Whatever arm was reaching, that's the arm that's doing our rows. 2 and 1. Good. Time is on. So I am in a full split stance position. So both feet are flat. Option, yes, you can have that back heel lifted, whatever feels better. Other option, hip width stance. Again, just making sure we're not tucking our tail feathers, because as soon as we collapse in, we take that emphasis off of our upper back and put it on our biceps. So the shoulder blade leads the exercise, the arm follows along. So your shoulder blade is the engine, your bicep is just one of the cars behind. Good, bring it up. Getting ready for warrior on the other side. So doing this with no weights is still an amazing balance exercise. So keep that shoulder down and back in your back pocket. Grip the floor with those toes and that foot. So keep it square. Stay nice and tall. Again, how far you go is up to you, but we're squeezing that glute and back. So when our body goes forward, the leg just comes along with it. 10 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rows. 3, 2, 1. Good. So a nice good row. So driving that elbow back. So again, the shoulder blade starts the movement. So we draw it in, then we bring the arms up. See if you can really focus on pulling that shoulder blade back and in before that arm starts to bend. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it up, shake it out. Grab a drink. All right, next round. We have pliés with a bicep curl. We have X's, so we're working on the back of the arm. And you're welcome to try this with a band. And then we have straight arm press back. So a little arm focus this round. All right, so pliés. Grab weights you feel comfortable doing bicep curls with if you're doing arms today. So our legs are nice and wide, our toes are pointing out, our palms are in front, but our shoulders are still down and back in our back pocket. We go down, up, bicep curl. All right, 40 seconds, your time is on. Couple options for you. Yes, you can just hold a plié stance and do your bicep curls. That's fine. You can also hold a plié down and do your bicep curls. Now the trick with this one is if your toes are in a little bit more, we don't want to let the shoulders sneak in. We want to keep those shoulders up. So a way to do that is to turn those palms out and do a bicep curl to the side or to the corners instead of in front. So you can just squeeze the shoulder blades together, rotate those hands out a bit, so you're kind of doing like a W. 2 and 1. Good. Set it down. If you have super light weights, light weights. If you don't, you're going to do body weight with me. Hands start in the center. We're going to draw an X. Bring it up, center, down, center. So we want to draw that X. So very important that we're not doing the letter I, right? X, and then out. So right at chest height is about where the center of our X is. We're taking the backs of our hands to the wall behind us. So consider this to be a little bit of a therapy exercise. Yes, 2, and 1. Good. Straight arm press backs. Light to medium weights. Shoulders down and back. This is our skiing. So we push our hips back, palms facing in, and we're gonna do a nice, good straight arm press back, like we're going down the hill. So if you do ski, if you've ever downhill skied, we're usually not upright when we downhill ski, and our legs usually aren't straight either. We've got that little bit of a fold at our ankles and at our knees, and we're going down. Now usually a lot of downhill, you don't use your poles a lot, but we are, because it's a very shallow hill. It's not very steep. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it up. Going back to the beginning, starting with our plies, with our bicep curls. So wide stance, nice and tall. Here we go. Down, and then bicep curl. You can also bicep curl as you go down and up. You can hold the down, you can hold the up. You can do just bicep curls, and that's fine. So we're squeezing the glutes, pressing those knees out. If you find that your toes are out and your knees are coming in, turn those toes in as well. Your knees should track over your second toe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Set them down. I'm going to dig in the sand. We're going to do those X's. XX. All right, arms out in front. High and low. So with this one, don't force it. So we don't want to fling our hands way back over. You just want to do a nice, good squeeze. Take the backs of your hands back behind you. Come to the middle. Backs of the hands back behind you. Good. So I'm going to kneel just to make it a little easier to see. Back and back. Getting some shoulder work in here. This is control. This is keeping our core tight. Thinking about those shoulders. Last one. Good. Getting ready for those straight arm press backs. 2 and 1. Good. So our soft ankles, our soft knees, our hips are back. Yes, you can be more upright if you need to. It's tempting to swing and to let those arms go way forwards. We're focusing hip and then back. So forward fold gets you a little bit bigger range of motion, and it's a more effective range of motion as well. 10 seconds to go. We have 2 more rounds. They're on the floor. You do not have to go to the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Bring it up. All right, super quick drink of water. All right, we're gonna head down to the floor. You do not have to go to the floor. We're gonna do a chest fly. So if you're doing a chest fly, you're gonna do very light weights or even no weights at all. Work on that range of motion. Option with a leg drop. If you're upright, if you have a band, you put the band behind you to do your chest flies. We're gonna do Russian twists with punches. You can do standing, elbow to knee, and then we're gonna do glute bridges, which you can do single leg squats, all right? So we're gonna head down to the floor. If you're upright, you can also do a lot of these sitting in a chair. You're gonna lean back and you're gonna do your chest flies sitting in that chair. So I'm gonna do very light weights for my chest flies, because this is kind of a no-no exercise for me. So, option 1, knees bent, feet flat. Option 2, legs are up in a dead bug position. Palms are facing in directly over the chest, soft bend in the elbow. we take the arms out and then we bring them back in over our chest. You have 40 seconds. Your time is on. So, something to consider. The upper arm may touch the floor. It does not have to. The back of your hand and your forearm should never touch the floor. If they do, you are allowing those elbows to straighten, which puts a little more stress on your shoulder. So imagine big ballerina, little ballerina. You also have the option to add in this leg drop. So just imagine you have a ball or something round. If you straighten your arms, you're gonna drop the ball. So soft bend in the elbow, and it's okay if your arms do not touch the floor. It's gonna depend on your range of motion. Good, go ahead and bring it down. We're gonna come up to a seated position. We're gonna do a nice good Russian twist with cross punches. So your time is on. Now if you'd like, you can always take out the arms and just do your Russian twists. You can also lie on your back and do your bicycles instead if you'd like. If you would like to add weights for the punches, you can, but again, very light weights. We're talking 1 pound, 2 pounds. We've already done a lot of shoulders today and a lot of reaching out, so it's not really necessary. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All the way down. We're going to do our glute bridges. We're going to try single leg. If you don't want to do single leg, do both at the same time. Good. Your time is on. So glute bridge, knee is bent, foot is flat on the floor. We tuck our tail feathers, press our low back into the floor, and then we keep that tuck as we squeeze our glutes and we lift our leg or lift our hips up towards the ceiling. You can do both legs at the same time, it's fine. We're gonna go through round 2 and we'll do the other leg on the second round. So if glute bridges are a new exercise for you or you have any joint instability in your hips, go ahead and keep both feet flat on the floor. 2 and 1. Good. Let's go ahead and grab those weights for chest flies if you're using any. 2 and 1. Good. So just a nice good chest fly. Opening out, and try to think about keeping it over our chest. Sometimes we get tempted to bring it over our face, and we don't want to have it that high. We want our shoulders down and back, and we want to have it over our chest. So there's not a huge difference between our face and our chest, distance-wise, but there is a difference. Core is tight, optional leg drops. Get a little more core work in there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bringing it up for those Russian twists. And again, you can stay on your back and just do a nice good bicycle crunch. Good. So we lean back slightly, small C curve with that tummy, and we add those cross punches. I think it's been a while since we've done these. Good. So our shoulders are relaxed, so we don't want to sit upright and point to the straight out in front of us. We don't want to be so far back that we're punching to the ceiling. It is a lean back, a little C curve of that tummy. So you should feel our abs working. If you need to, take your legs out a little farther if that will take the pressure off of your hip flexors. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All the way down onto our backs for our glute bridges. If you were doing single leg, you're going to switch and do the other leg now. Good. Your time is on. If you're upright, you can do your single leg squats. Yes, both feet can be flat on the floor. You just have one out in front of the other. So it just puts a little more emphasis on one leg versus the other leg. You're also welcome to just do squats or chair stands or wood choppers. We're working on that hip hinge, and squats of any kind, glute bridges, wood chops, those are all a hip hinge dominant exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Short rest. We're going to roll over onto our side and then come to a seated position. Our next round, we have either a plank or a bird dog position, and we're going to do tricep kickbacks. The focus is the tricep kickback. We're going to do right then left, and then we're going to do a little bit of a low back extension. So we're going to grab a weight for our tricep kickbacks. So option 1, bird dog. Arm is up, kicking it back. Option 2, we come forward into a plank and we kick back. 40 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Your time is on. If you're not comfortable doing planks or bird dogs today, you may do a half kneeling stance like I am and still do that kickback. If you are upright, you can do a kickback sitting, you can do a kickback standing, whatever works better for you today. Doing the bird dog or the plank just adds a little bit more core, a little bit more stability in your body. But you do what works best for you today. So remember, bird dogs or planks, our shoulder is down and back in our back pocket, shoulder is over our wrist or even our elbow. Good, bring it up, shake it out. We're gonna switch sides. So pick your position, 3, 2, 1, good. So again, bringing it up, I'm in a half kneeling stance. So I'm giving my shoulders a little bit of a break. So this works well if you've got shoulder issues, wrist issues, but you always have that option to come back and do a bird dog, which is a good progression since you're more stable. And then your final progression is you just take those knees back a little bit farther and we do a nice good plank. Knees or toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, if you're on the floor, you're going to go all the way down onto your tummy. You're going to squeeze the glutes and you're just going to do a gentle lift and then a gentle lower. Lift and lower. Option. If you're on the floor, you are welcome to do alternating bird dogs. If you are upright, same thing. Hand can be on a chair. We're going to alternate bird dogs. You're going to hold it, bring it in, switching sides. Nice, good bird dog. The goal is a little bit of low back. If you're standing, you're doing a core stabilizing exercise. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Back through those 3 exercises. Last 3 exercises for the day. Starting with our tricep kickbacks. Good, your time is on. So when we do these, it's really tempting because it's more of a challenge. We start sitting our hips back towards our heels and we let our arm, our hand get away from our shoulder. We want to pull that shoulder down and we want to get into that bird dog or that plank position. So this is a core challenge. This is also an anti-rotation challenge because we're trying not to rotate our torso. Keep it square. 10 seconds to go. Wider knees, wider legs makes it a little easier to stabilize. 3, 2, 1. Good. Short rest. We're going to switch and go to the other side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So arm is up. Nice, good kickback. So it's tempting with this one to shift our weight and to let our shoulder pop up. That's a core issue, believe it or not. So keep it nice and steady. So even when we do our bird dogs, we don't want to turn our body like we're trying to look behind us. We're looking right down at the floor. Nice, good reach back with that arm. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, going for our low back extensions. Yes, you can do a bird dog or even a plank if you would like. Good. Time is on. So I have my hands just a little ahead of my shoulders. I'm squeezing my glutes. So think about squeezing those glutes. That will help protect your low back. So we don't want to have our glutes relaxed and rely on using our arms to push ourselves up. Really squeeze those cheeks like you gotta go, but you're not able to yet. Slow and steady. So I don't want to see any popping up and bouncing. Just take it up, hold for a second, then drop back down. 2 and 1. Good. Short rest. We're just going to stay down, and we're just going to rest our chin on our hands or on an upturned fist. If you are sitting or you're upright, we're going to go ahead and just sit in a chair, or we're just going to stand in a pose that is relaxing for you. If you are on the floor, the goal is every time you exhale, you relax your hips into the ground. So not the low back, the hips. So nice deep breaths in and out. Good. We're going to carefully come to a kneeling stance. And then we're going to sit back into child's pose. So we're just going to sit back, and we're going to reach those arms out as far as we can. Again, pain-free range of motion. We're going to come to hands and knees, and yes, you can be on your elbows instead. If you're sitting, your hands are just going to be on your thighs. We're going to inhale, gentle arch of the back, lift the chest, and then we exhale. We're going to push the floor away and make our back look like a turtle or a hill. Good. We're going to inhale. We're going to lift our chest. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to tuck our tail feathers, pull our belly button up away from the floor, push that floor away. Good. Now we're going to sit back into child's pose again. We're going to thread the needle. So we reach one arm out, the other arm we're going to reach underneath. And we're going to drop down our shoulder and our ear towards the floor. Good. And bring it up, and now we're going to do the other side. So walk that hand out as far as you can, pain-free range of motion. And we're going to drop that ear and that shoulder towards the floor. Good. And we're going to come back up. We're going to take those knees wide, and our toes are going to be pointing towards each other. Neutral spine, and we're going to sit back into our hips. So we're kind of doing a little frog stretch. Good. Come back to hands and knees. Bring the knees in just a little bit. We're going to tuck those toes under. I want you to sit your hips back as close to your heels as you can. One arm is going to be close to your knee. We're going to stay nice and tall. We're going to take elbow to elbow, and then we're going to open that elbow out to the side. Little torso rotations. Good. One more time. Elbow to elbow. Good. And then torso rotation. Keep those hips on those heels. Good. We're going to switch. I'm going to turn to the front. So again, shoulders down and back. Push that floor away. Elbow to elbow. Open out to the side. We don't want to shift over. It's all torso. Good. And then shift elbow to elbow. And then shift out to the side. Good. Bring it in. We're just going to sit. We're going to do a nice good chest stretch. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. In front, hands to shoulders, chin stays neutral, walk your fingers back. Give yourself a nice good bicep curl. Good, bring it down, hand to the floor by the hip, nice good side bend, reach for the sky, spread the fingers, and then make a loose fist. Good, other side, nice good side bend, open and close. Good, go ahead and bring it up. We're gonna look to the right. Good neck stretch, shoulders down and back in the back pocket. Look to the left. Good, looking forwards, coming to a half kneeling. If you're sitting in a chair, you can be in a lunge position or sitting in a chair, sitting sideways. We're just gonna do a little tail feather tuck and a little press forwards, and I'm going to add a little reach back with my arm, but not allowing that tail feather to lift up. So you're squeezing that glute. Good, release, switching sides. Same thing. So half kneeling, tail feather tuck, squeeze that back glute, little push forward so we feel a stretch. And now we're gonna reach back. Nice, good chest stretch. Good, and release, sitting, standing, kneeling, your choice. Just a couple deep breaths in and out. Good, last time. All right, all done.